We took our seats in the other chairs. I was feeling very satisfied at being here. It was almost as though I were at the beach in a little hut. I could still hear the soft sound of the ocean waves. The wisdom he spoke to us was not in words, but various sounds that were wonderful and cleansing. I put together some impressions for the humans to relate to from what he said. All you will ever need to know and realize is here and now, with what is real. The attainment that all are seeking cannot be found in any building, written word, or authority figure. It can only be found with the real sound and light from the all is. I am the humble caretaker of this level, but I am not the ultimate like so many consider me to be. I am only a humble being, playing my part in the great spectrum of experience that already is. Those who seek me out and go no further are not yet ready to risk everything and become at one with the all is, like all of you. You, Dwayne, have been chosen because you will only consider what is real now. Those who come to me want knowledge, peace, or something for their personal life, but the training the real guides give is very specialized and not many are ready for it. This is why the great reality has created all the different places, planes, and levels. Let's see. With its endless being. In this way, each you-tune can choose their own place in life. The belief systems of the earth do have their purpose, even though what they have is a distorted version from what was originally presented to them by the messengers who were sent to earth. Unfortunately, some of the messengers were sent by the Lord God, and from your experience with him, Dwayne, it is not hard to figure out where one will be led from his influence. My purpose is to furnish what is needed for those who are able to come this far with their journey through the various lower levels. The main theme is what is unseen, and not just the words and ideas. The biggest test for anyone is to recognize the illusions on the first three levels, those areas known as the creative realms. It is just like when you were in school and you went through all the elementary grades. The same is true of the whole of life and all that exists. Each one of us has forever to journey into the unknown, unlike what is presented by the belief systems. Theirs is a business plan as they pressure people into making decisions according to what they want. They want absolute control over as many as possible. What the controllers of these systems do not see is they also limit themselves to the lower levels of life and what they need to survive as long as they hold to the same ideals. They not only have the burden of their own ignorance and what they keep for themselves as far as a real awareness, but they also have the drudgery of future lifetimes with those they have control over. It's also silly and childish. All life comes from a true, invisible source, not from a personality which the masses decisively look to. The marketers of Earth use the personality as a vehicle for proposing a plan that supports them. The illusion they perform provides an emotional support that really doesn't exist. When it appears to exist, the next moment it has vanished and the individual is left with nothing. The mind and emotions must then continue to search for more satisfaction until the day comes when the lifetime is over and it has been another life of gaining mainly nothing. The masses will always cling to themselves and forever wonder what else there is. They are the ones who never take the time to explore the reality that life is. They are too busy living out their dream dramas that contains all the phenomena that the senses and the earth provide. The reality that sustains all life is always in this present moment. It always has been, and it will always continue to be so. Never is it in the past or future. The all is can only be now. The original cause of all things is the pure source, the great reality, the all is. These, of course, are merely labels similar to those found with any system, but they identify the true reality in this time frame according to what is taking place now. The old labels are a reference to times past and mainly connected to the authorities of the earth and the space gods, whom the masses worship. Their only identity is their written documentation from the past that has changed according to the times. The masses are not totally unaware, so they expect a revision of what they identify with. The educational systems, which are looked to, are for the purpose of conditioning people to be followers. They are not for a development of a total awareness and becoming a unique individual. Those who do achieve status in the intellectual and educational fields are many times heralded as having accomplished something of a great purpose and value, which are only temporary positions. These small steps are a fallacy and contrived by the gods of man. All such accomplishments can only remain in the cycle of birth and death. The identities and labels of the past were for those times and have taken on an assortment of definitions. What is not understood as the definition of anything is not significant, but the real connection to the true reality is. The real sound and light come from the real source. The belief system, the mystical paths, the occult sciences, and so forth want people to think in certain terms. All they mainly have is the information in some lower light that is usually from the second or third heaven. The average person who is not involved in anything usually has the best advantage because their mind hasn't been led into conditioning from the old and outdated doctrines and edited historical events. There is a lot of preparation that is taking place even while you are here, Dwayne. It will still be years before you have a total grasp as to what you will be doing while you are still on the earth this time around. You are still young for now, but the time will come when you are ready. Life is always new and ever occurring in this immediate nowness of what is real. The effects the mind creates with reason and logic is from the lesser side of life. And the reality that already is from the real source. The lesser side is the effect of what has been created and plays its part, but only up to a certain point in our experience. This continues until we are able to reside in the initial cause position of being, who we really are. All forms of description are the mind's way of being creative, but they have nothing to do with the true reality itself. The mind's creativeness is only something that we experience while in the mind realm. The higher levels pertain to a fulfillment of occupying a position where the true reality provides all that is necessary into a being-isness. While the real you is still in the lesser realms, it must be creative to survive. It must look outside of itself for sustenance, as opposed to being sustained by the true reality that is. This is accomplished through the application of deciding that we will be supported from the real source, and then this becomes our state of being real. Let me read that again so see what it says a little better. This is accomplished through the application of deciding we will be supported from the real source. And then this becomes our state of being real. The emotional element does play a part, but it is not the reality. It does support our journey if properly directed with an inspirational purpose to become a totally aware, radiant being. At some point, just like you are experiencing here, all the emotional and mental bodies are dropped and you are free to be yourself at last. The emotional element does play a part, but it is not the reality. It does support our journey if properly directed with an inspirational purpose to become a totally aware, radiant being. At some point, just like you are experiencing here, all the emotional and mental bodies are dropped, and you are free to be yourself at last. Anyone can have a wonderful life within the psychic realms and go to so many different levels. But to experience the true reality and all the levels that apply is like the difference between night and day. Dwayne, you will be having the adventure of your life with what is coming up for you. It will not be easy at first. There will be a lot of resistance with what you will be presenting, as most people are set in the old ways of tradition. You will reveal the secrets of the all is, which has never been done before. And those who have come so far with what they think is their spiritual growth will be the most stubborn as they hang on to their God, ideas, and restrictions. You will surpass all that has come before you. Paul set the foundation and you will provide the true completeness. It has been my great honor to meet you with Reba Zartars and Miss Heather, he humbly said. I could see that Heather was taking in a lot. She was sitting there wide-eyed and her mouth was O-shaped, like that of a child. I was feeling all the rush of what I was taking in as well. The Sacred One then said, we had listened very patiently and we were to continue our journey. All of us got up and thanked him. Then we went outside with Rebazar. We are almost through the first part of the journey, said Rebazar, as he slowly ascended into the sky. Heather and I waited for a moment. How are you doing? I asked with a little concern. I'm doing okay. It's all a little confusing, but I will manage, she said with a little cute smile on her face. Just be patient and you will learn so much. I know it is a lot for you to take in, but someday you will be glad we had this journey. I said as kindly as I could. I know you care so much and I will be patient because this whole experience is very wonderful, she said with her lovely smile. We then leaped into the air and caught up with RT. She seemed to be doing better when we were moving along. I had the feeling that a lot of the dialogue was becoming too much for her. All the years I have taught, the words have become a lot for me also. But it would seem that someone has to do it, and it looks as though it's to be me. The description of what we were going through is something that creates a good understanding, and especially if you will be teaching others. Otherwise, what good is it? It can be good for personal enlightenment, but then again, you can just live your life and just be. For me, it's the real adventure that matters. I want to be part of the whole of life and not just someone who attends meetings and feels good about something. Gribazar has taught me that it's about taking the risk and living the danger. And then the all is eventually reveals itself to those who have the real courage to take on a real position with it. That's from new book 2, A Journey to Real Freedom by Dwayne the Great Rider. There are Skype groups you can become involved with. And there's these blog talk radio shows. There's the new books to read, to get and read. They're available on the PDFs and things. If you look up the www.worldwideeducators.com or the new presentation, you'll be able to find out about them if you're trying. But anyway, so there's projects in development of the total universal rainforests. And there's the all-solar research vessels that will be cleaning up the oceans and providing clean drinking water to people that don't have it on Earth, and making self-sustaining communities and trying to be in harmony with nature. What we have going on right now on Earth is a lot of pollution of the air and of the water and of the food too, besides all these vaccines and how they affect certain people. And so anyway, just trying to share some guidance to find out for yourself if the new presentation, if the real guides are offering it to you, there's no mistake. It's not a coincidence. So don't take it for just like it's not important, but it's up to you to decide. There's Facebook Live presentations of reading the new books and multiple Skype and Zoom shows, I guess you'd call them. And everybody can become involved in the projects. And so anyway, I guess I'll end the show for today with the new song that's being offered to get the real connection, to real guidance, and a real education to the universal guides and the real universes where there's real freedom and real love, not this implied freedom that we have on Earth and just the emotional love that everybody thinks is love. Anyway, see ya. New